NBC News has learned tonight James Comey, the former FBI director who led the Russia probe, and Jeff Sessions, the attorney general who was forced to recuse himself, have both been interviewed by special counsel Robert Mueller's team. A Justice Department official says Sessions sat for hours of questions just last week. Comey was interviewed last year about memos he wrote about his interactions with the president, a source close to Comey revealed.
Thank you.
What the attorney general told the special counsel?
No, I'm not at all concerned. Not
Did you
at all.
talk to him about it?
No, I didn't, but I'm not at all concerned. Thank you all very much.
It's not clear what the special counsel asked Sessions, but the attorney general was instrumental in the firing of former FBI Director James Comey, which led to the appointment of the special counsel who is investigating potential obstruction of justice. Mr. Trump telling Lester the probe was at the root of his decision to fire Comey.
I said to myself, I said, you know, this Russia thing with Trump and Russia is a made-up story.
As the investigation gets closer to the president, Mr. Trump is escalating his battle with the very department that's investigating him. This morning, slamming the FBI after revelations they're missing 5 months' worth of text messages between an FBI agent who was removed from the special counsel probe for writing disparaging messages about then-candidate Trump to an FBI attorney who also worked on the Mueller team. The president calling it one of the biggest stories in a long time. The White House also lashed out at reports that current FBI Director Christopher Wray threatened to resign to protest pressure he was getting from Sessions and others to fire Deputy Director Andrew McCabe.
No, he didn't at all. He did not. He did not even a little bit. Nope. And he's going to do a good job.
And tonight, conversations are ongoing between the president's legal team and the special counsel, which will seek to interview Mr. Trump. Sources familiar with the matter tell NBC News that could happen in a matter of weeks.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.